What's up, YouTube? From the other side of the world. How are you doing? How are you doing? So this is the first live stream from South Africa, so we can immediately check the connection as well and see if everything works. See if everything is working. So let me what you see is what I see. Okay, so I don't have a dual screen setup. I have a single screen setup, and this is what I have, right? I have the chart. I put chat above my webcam just because it's difficult for me to keep an eye on chat while doing analysis, because I don't have two screens. When I have two screens, I can check it, but not now. Thanks for the background compliment, Abusni Sok. So yeah, here we are in South Africa, Cape Town, and in a beautiful house here. On my Instagram yesterday, I showed a little story of where I was, well, braaiing, barbecuing, wherever you live in the world, right? Depends how you call it, I suppose. I mean, braaiing and barbecue is significantly different, but yeah, I was cooking. So real this time, not on the charts. So biltong, yes, absolutely. So yeah, what's up, Chad? How are you doing? So I'm gonna remove this. Everything is working. So hope you're doing good. Mark, Dutch, Dara, Vincent, what's up? How are you doing? Sarah, Factor Call. I hope it's from some nice beach. I think the internet connection will be a struggle from the beach though. But Wi-Fi should be good here. So hopefully everything works. Bina, welcome. Arbuzni is Soko, mate. That's an early stream. Yeah, it is, but you know, it's very much dependent on my time and yeah, when I can and when I can't. But today is a calm day, so I definitely have some time for a good live stream. Alan, what's up? I'll be on the background just lurking. That's perfectly fine, Mark. Moin, live in SA. Yes, Dr. Daddy. What time is it for me? It's now, I gotta check my phone here. It is 11:30. It's almost noon. What's up, Jason? He is there when we need him the most. My hero. Love you, Kun brother. What's up, Swakse? How you doing? How you doing? Always love your comments as well. Like Swakse, he then asks a question. Actually, maybe I have to put my laptop a little bit lower because I feel like the webcam is so high. One second here. Gonna cook a little bit lower here. It's stuck. Cooking. There we go. Okay. A little bit lower. Let's see how that goes. I have a laptop stand with me, also because of the heat, of course. Here, it's important to have the laptop up because else it's already warm, but else it's gonna be like I can cook an egg on my laptop, mate. So yeah, but we back. So yeah, that's the time. Thanks, Jason. Good morning. What's up, Davey? How are you doing today? I'm doing very good. Very good. It's been a very good first day yesterday as well. We had a good flight, but I'll chat about that in a second. Yeah, do you have eaten samosa or biltong? Biltong I have, yes. Gwendy Zoo, thank you. The wedding is on the 9th of March, like the ceremony, that is, of course. Mr. Seeb, what's up? We are in one time zone. Yes, it's all one time zone. So pretty much. What's up, the Fox? Okay, so we're gonna do the following in this live stream. First of all, I'll talk to you shortly about where I am and the past 2 days, so the flight and yesterday. Then we're gonna cover Elliott Waves. You can see I have some stuff on my chart here, right? So we're gonna cover the different folders that I have on my chart. Just very shortly, as you may have seen, we have an 886 touch on the chart over here. If I go to the 886, then there we go, and then extend it. So the fact that the 886 is hit increases the probabilities that any move that we get here also to the downside is part of a corrective structure, increasing probabilities to take the highs at some stage, right? So even if it goes down, higher probability it is corrective compared to impulsive, increasing probabilities to take the highs at the later stage. 886, rare for a wave 2, common for a wave B or a wave X. So that is at least something I wanna say. So yeah, we're gonna go through these different folders today, and yeah, that's and then go to chatting and Q&A. No, chatting and Q&A. So that's what we're gonna do. Again, what I see is what you see. I don't have a second screen here. I'm literally talking to the chart and you guys on the chat. I do like to have the chat on my screen now because I'm only having a one screen setup, so I can keep an eye on what you're writing, but it also doesn't feel alone, if you know what I mean. Because if I only have the chart on my screen, I don't know, it's like I'm talking to, I am talking to my computer, if you know what I mean, but it feels very solo, like, you know, it doesn't feel online. Very active on Insta. Yeah, I showed the house just a little bit. I should do a house tour actually, like where we are staying here, but yeah, that maybe later today. So, okay, let's start with the last 2 days. Then we go into Elliott Waves, and then we go chatting and Q&A, right? So our flight left 2 days ago. It was 11 hours, very, very easy going. And we had a guy next to us where he had a business. He was an entrepreneur himself, and he has a kite surfing business. But the kite surfing business he has, I thought this was very fascinating. So what he does is he organizes kite surfing workshops and trips for doctors, specifically doctors, medical professionals. And he organizes a conference, and then for the medical professionals, and then a whole kite surfing trip, an organized trip next to it. So he's been in that business for 3-4 years now. He's 57 years old, and he flies to Cape Town because he's going to organize something like this in Cape Town. Now, I really like to surf. I've never done kite surfing, so high probabilities, we love talking probabilities, that I will check out kite surfing as well. I love doing sports anyway. So yeah, that was really cool. Watched a couple of movies. Now, because in the cinemas in the Netherlands currently we have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in the cinema, and I was like, I actually never watched those movies, so let me watch Willy Wonka. So I watched, honestly, in the airplane, there weren't too many like great movies at the moment, but KLM, by the way. But I watched that one, and then I watched The Matrix 1 and part of The Matrix 2. I've never seen those movies, so I was like, yeah, I barely watch movies actually. So yeah, that was fun. And then Ashley, you know, she watched some movies as well, and then we arrived here. Her dad picked us up, and voila. So yesterday we had a bit of a busy day because first time with family. So because you know, her parents are staying on the other side of the road here, and she hasn't seen her family for 5-6 months now. Her dad picked us up, and then the next day we were pretty much the whole day we were with family. So and we were in the city as well. We were in Cape Town as well. So it was a busy day, not really an opportunity to provide you with a video or an update or like a live stream. Again, I mentioned in the South Africa video that I had the opportunity because of my phone with me and my laptop with me to write an update, technical analysis, Elliott Wave update for the silvers, but I didn't have the space nor the time to make a video. But now I'm actually home alone. My wife is out and about doing the makeup for the wedding as a test, and also her hair, I believe, and just like testing and checking. And then later tonight we go for dinner at the Blue Peter, which is at Blauberg Strand. And yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna go fishing pretty much the whole day, so that's gonna be difficult with regards to content. My wife has her bachelor party tomorrow, and so you know that the girls are out and the boys go fishing. So tomorrow I'm gonna go fishing, ocean fishing. So we just throw in our thingy in the ocean, and we tend to catch sand sharks and the very flat ones. I forgot the name of the very flat fish with the tail that has a needle at the end. You know what I mean? These can be a bit of a pain in the ass to catch, actually. But yeah, those are the ones we tend to catch the most. So tomorrow I'm going to go fishing, and I'm not sure if I can, because we leave very early and we might only be home late. We don't kill the fishies. We throw them back. We're the good guys. We're the good guys. Yeah. So, yeah. First, get some Elliott waves and then catch the fish. I actually think I have a fish somewhere on my Instagram. I'm not sure if I'm logged in, actually. Coons trading. No, I'm not logged in because I reset my whole browser recently because of the problem. So yeah, good 2 days, and now I have some time. So that being said, let's go over Elliott waves, shall we? And see what is happening and talk about the probabilities as well. Spearfish. Yeah, I've actually never done that before. There are like some people we know here that do spearfishing, but they do deep sea fishing, right? So what we do is we stand on like just on the beach, where of course knee height or hip height in the ocean, and we just you know, throw it over the seaweed. Tend to have seaweed here and there, and then just fish that way. Last year we got burned so bad because it was cloudy at the beginning of the day, and once the sun broke through, we forgot to actually use sunscreen because it was cloudy and we were fishing, and then we were so burned when we came back. I used bottles of cream on the back of my knees, back of my calves, the back of my neck. Holy shit, man. Yeah, that was a tough couple of days. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's start talking about technical analysis. I'm gonna start with non-Elliott waves, and then we get into the Elliott wave scenarios you see here, right? So Jeroen, welcome. Blue Oyster. No, it's Blue Peter, as it's called. Blue Peter, Blaubergstrand. This is where we're gonna go later today. Blue Peter Hotel. So this is where we're gonna have dinner tonight with I believe friends and family. I don't know. I think we're a pretty big group. So okay, let's get started. It's on the beach as well. Let's get started. How many minutes are we into the live stream, by the way? Okay, 16. That's good to know. What's up, all 81 of you? So let's start non-Elliott waves, right? We have the volume profile here. This is the range on the Coinbase chart of pretty much 2021 and early 2022, right? We had resistance at the value area low, important SR level on the chart. Resistance, eventually broken, increasing probabilities for the point of control. Value area high, support on the point of control, breaking out. A little bit of a weekly order block now. This is important support in case price does come down. And arguably, one could say a bit of a retest of the value area high. We just kind of missed out on this area, but yeah, we closed above, a red candle after, and continuation to the upside, where we also see some volume increasing. And this is something we're going to talk about a little bit more when we're going to cover the Elliott wave scenarios, right? So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, I do realize that on the Bybit chart, the chart looks a little bit different. This is Bitstamp, this is Bybit. So when you pull a... There we go. When you pull a volume profile on the Bybit chart, right? First of all, you get this one. But the second one you'll get, if you only use the highs here, is this one. So let me remove this here. So here you can see we have the point of control, 57.3, and the value area high. This is the highest value area high on Bybit at 63.5K, which is part of the resistance where we are at the moment, right? As you can see, it has been hit, which is arguably the last volume level on a weekly time frame that is significant, right? That is important. Now, if I do the same on the Coinbase chart, which is of course the chart that I tend to use over here, then you can see the value area high over here. This is the same pool, right? It's not even close to where Bybit shows its volume, right? So big difference. So it's good to sometimes keep an eye on multiple charts. So it just adds up to the resistance of where we are at the moment. Okay. Now, with regards to a channel, this is a channel on the linear chart, not the logarithmic chart. So here we pulled the channel from the low to the first time 30K. Broke out, retest, continuation. What we're looking for is volume coming in, right? When we talk about Elliott waves and we talk about channels, actually channels are important with regards to Elliott waves. What we're looking for here is of course a breakout on preferably increasing volume, because we're looking for a wave 3, and then eventually get into a range for a wave 4 where we want to touch this channel before continuation. Now it depends how high price goes, but a small detail here is on the logarithmic chart, the channel is significantly different, and we're on a weekly time frame here, and preferably on a weekly time frame I do like to use the logarithmic chart. So now logarithmic here is turned on, as you can see, right? So now, even though the channel is pulled from the same pivots, low, low, and the high over here, tested the channel upper side once, right? Breaking above here, arguably a bit of a retest, as you can see, and then continuation. If we are talking about an impulse, right? 1, 2, 3, eventually we want to see 4 and then 5. You want to retest the channel, but a wave 3 preferably is going to end somewhere far above the channel, and then later for 4 you come back to the channel because of the bigger range that you expect, and then you go up for another wave 5. So that is why this channel is quite interesting. Now, when we look at the Fibonacci's, these are the fibs, logarithmic scale, taken from the high to the low. You can see fibs and speed fans. I'll leave the speed fans for what it is for now. The fibs here, right, 886 golden pocket. As you can see currently on the weekly time frame, logarithmic chart, we are above the 886. But here's the thing. Put it to linear and we're at the 886, right? So you can see between the logarithmic and the linear chart, there's a few differences here. Now on a weekly time frame, I just mentioned, logarithmic is important, but linear, especially with the fibs here, are important as well. We hit the 886, and also what is nice, we hit the golden pocket, rejection, went through the golden pocket, retest with the order block that we have over here, right? The red candle, retest and continuation to the 886. Now, the 886 on lower time frames is important from an Elliott wave point of view. Very often, when you hit the 886, price retraces to the golden pocket. In this case, that would be quite a significant retracement because the 886 is at pretty much 63K and the golden pocket is around 49 and 50K. So it's a bit of a question mark if that happens here. Now, of course, it doesn't happen every time. It's just from an Elliott wave point of view, when price hits the 886, it's based on probabilities, quite often moves to the golden pocket. I think currently we're tracking some statistics about this in Diamond as well, but it's 50-ish percent, 60-ish percent of the times, but you can't really use it. It's lower time. We check it on lower time frames because it's just an interesting thing that's happening. But on the higher time frames, like a weekly time frame, we want to see local weakness, right? And we hit the 886 locally, so at the moment we don't really see weakness that would yet give price or move price to the golden pocket here. But nonetheless, it is interesting. The fact that the 886 has been hit from the high to the low does increase the probability sooner or later the high will be taken, which is the all-time high. Of course, as we know, if price does move down, probabilities are higher for a wave C or a wave Y, increasing probabilities to go back up at a later stage. Golden pocket is very important though. If it does move to the downside, the golden pocket is generally an area where, of course, you can wick below, but where you don't really want to close below. Weekly gaps. Gap support moved up, a little bit of resistance at this weekly gap here, but we passed it and here we are at the next weekly gap, 59.5K, 62.3K. It's the final weekly gap that we have. So let's then talk about what we love on the channel, Elliott waves. No? Bullish scenario number 1. So in this bullish scenario, we're looking for a double 1-2. 1-2, 1-2, and we look to the upside for wave 3. Now, purposefully, I did not put any fibs on the chart because I want to talk about the fibs again between log as well as linear scale. So we're currently on the linear scale, right? Log is turned off. And the first wave 2 retraced to the 382 Fibonacci. Less common for 2, more common for a wave B or a wave X, but it's still a target for a wave 2. Especially in a bullish environment, it is a target to keep an eye on. The second wave 2 here also retraced to the 382, right? So both wave 2s retracing shallow retracements. It does increase probabilities that once we are looking for the wave 4s in green and in yellow in this scenario, probabilities increase for these to be sharp moves, in other words, deep moves. Rule of alternation. If wave 2s are, arguably the second wave 2 is short and the first is long, but generally, the rule of alternation, if wave 2 is short, deep, and simple, wave 4 tends to be long, complex, and shallow. But it also counts the other way around, right? If wave 2 is shallow, wave 4 tends to be deep. It's just probabilities. It's higher probabilities for wave 4 to be deep. But it's very much possible wave 4 is also shallow, right? So no nice bigger retracements. So here we're looking for a double 1-2. Now something that I don't really enjoy for this second wave 2 is that it is so incredibly short in time. Which is quite interesting. So if I pull a fib time from the low, Fibonacci time from the low to the high of 1, toggle on the wave 2 over here, there we go. So we are now comparing wave 1 with wave 2, which you tend to do. Then this wave 2 ended after the 1-to-1, right? Perfect. Wave 1 ending after the 1-to-1, it's a common target. The 382 has been passed, which generally is a minimum target for a wave 2. If we take a fib time from the low to, wherever, it doesn't even matter if we take the left high or the right high, but let's use the right one for starters. Then you can see that this wave 2, so now we put this wave 1 up here. This wave 2 now did not hit the 0.382. So that's very, very short. And if I pull the fib time on the left side, then you can see we did end between the 382 and the 618. So therefore, preferably, this is your second 1-2 count. But that would require a flat structure here, right, in this wave 2. So then we have a flat, running flat in 2, move up, an expanding flat in 2, continuation to the upside. In a double 1-2, it is more common for the wave 2s to have the same pattern, the same structure. So if one is a flat family, generally the second wave 2 tends to be a flat family as well. If the first wave 2 was a zigzag, higher probabilities, the second wave 2 in a double 1-2 setup or even a triple 1-2 is a zigzag as well, right? So this is something that is important. And in this particular scenario, we then have to end this impulse, right? The first or the second move to the upside here. We have to end it here or here. Yeah, it's time-wise, we preferably want to end it here. Let me actually pull another fib time here. Yeah, because that is also, we didn't hit the 382. We pretty much only hit the 382 if we are ending it here. That is when we hit the 382. So in this particular scenario, you want wave 1 to finish on this high, preferably, because it's very rare for a wave 2 to not end after the 382. No? Having a quick look here. Yeah. Let me put this on the chart for you because I'm mentally counting, but it might be smart if I just visualize what I am counting, so you can actually keep an eye on what's happening. If we want to end wave 1 here, we have our sub-degrees, no? This is where things become challenging, as you can see. I'll explain. So if we start with a double 1-2 at the bottom, 1-2, 1-2 in yellow, purple. Of course, then we have the lower blue and then the white one. No, so this all works nicely. This is no problemo, all bueno. And this is the yellow 4 and the purple 4 and 5. That is where we get a bit of an issue. And I'll explain why. This is your high until we wicked above. So your wave 5, very rare it's truncated. You want wave 5 to finish above 3. That is by far most common. It doesn't make sense to look for truncations. So putting 4 here, 5 here, and then eventually 3 here, 4 here, and look for a final impulse looks nice. Low probabilities because of a truncation generally being a low probability structure. Also in the lower time frames, this has a higher probability of a 3 waver. But then we need something 4, 5, and then another 4, right? Awkward. But now the yellow 4 is a lot shorter in time than the yellow 2, and most commonly a wave 4 is longer in time than a wave 2. So pretty much what's preferred in this bullish scenario is a single 1-2 at the start, finish your 3 here, your 4 here, and then your 5. That is what you want to run with. It avoids the double 4, 5 in this range, which just works better. This is a lot of detail, but just for the ones that like nitpicking with regards to Elliott waves, that is how to then count this move to the upside to finish a wave 1 here on the left and make sure that 2 is long enough in time, hitting the 382 preferably. Then we look up. How do you group 2 highs in 1, 1, 2? Oh, it's then you're talking about a WXY or a flat in wave 2. So the new high is either X or B. It's a corrective high. It's not an impulsive high. So targets for wave 3. Let me talk about the yellow wave 3 targets first, as that is the higher degree. So you pull a trend-based fib extension from the low to the high of 1 to the low of yellow 2, right? Toggle on your wave 3 target area. Now this is again on the linear chart, not a logarithmic. We're on a weekly time frame. As you can see, wave 3 can extend much further, right? That's no problem. 1.6182, 2.6183, it can go to 4, 4.6185, 5.61. It can extend. But if I switch to the logarithmic chart on a weekly time frame, it is generally preferred to use log. You can see the 1.618 is at about, where are we? 77K. Let me put the prices on. The 1.618 is also preferably a minimum target for a wave 3. And we're now talking about the yellow wave 3, right? Let me color code this. So this is a pull from the low of wave 1 in yellow to the high to the low. So these fibs are important for the yellow wave 3. Now, just like on the lower time frames, it never really makes sense to try and estimate the high of a wave 3. What we're just simply looking for is a range. As price is pumping and moving to the upside or the downside, same here, we are waiting for a range to form. First, we want to see a range in wave 4 that is quite similar in time to wave 2 or longer, as generally a wave 4 is longer. And then we're looking for a yellow wave 4, preferably similar in time compared to the wave 2 or longer. Now, as mentioned, because the wave 2 here and here are flat structures and shallow, right? This wave 4 and this wave 4 might be zigzag structures. Zigzags tend to be short in time. So this is something we keep in mind. So we might get a short and sharp corrective structure. But we are waiting nonetheless for a range to form. Second bullish scenario, will go a lot quicker, is it leads to the same price action. It's just you skip out on one more 4, 5. So here we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you get another 4 and another 5, right? So this is your 3, 4, 5. So even though it looks like, oh damn, you know, it's a second bullish scenario, price action is not that different. You're looking for a 5 to end and therefore a 3. Yes, this move up at the moment has increasing volume, right? So then we're talking about a blow off top in a wave 5. In that case, but you're looking for the end of a 3, eventually a 4 and a 5. While in the other bullish scenario, you are looking for 3, 4, 5, which is what I did here, and then another 4, 5. So that is the difference between the two. Is here you look for a single 4, 5, and in the other bullish scenario, you get another 4, 5, right? So that is the difference. We only really know what scenario we're in when we talk about the bullish scenarios, is when we finish wave 5 and we get a retracement down. That retracement, that will give us the information if it's this scenario, 1, 4, 5, and we go for a deeper retracement down, or the more bullish scenario where you have a 4, 5, another 4, 5, and another move towards the upside. What's up, John? Now more locally, then we zoom in. We hit the 886. Taken from the high to the low, increasing the probabilities any price action over here is corrective. Of course, we can move to the downside, no problem. But the 886, from an Elliott Wave point of view, carries the probabilities that any corrective or any move now sideways or to the downside is part of a corrective structure. The moment the 886 is hit, taken again from the high to the low, it is a rare target for a wave 2 in an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 wave structures, right? And it's a higher probability for a wave B or a wave X. Increasing the probabilities any move down is corrective, increasing probabilities sooner or later will take the highs. So that is then also something that I keep an eye on. That's a nice thing about Elliott Waves as well, is that trading wise, I'm a bit more swingy with Elliott Waves, which helps when I'm on holiday as well. And all the stuff that's going on here. So we have our wave 1, 2. It's a little bit of a, like, currently I have my 3 up here and then a 4. And the reason is because we hit the 886. So I would prefer wave 3 to then end here, look for 4 and eventually a 5. This is the target area for your wave 4, 236 to the 05. The 382 has been tapped, as you can see, at 59K, right? So the invalidation for this scenario for wave 4 is 0.618. Then we have to think about other structures. So preferably we have 3, 4, look for another high in a wave 5. I haven't gone also time-wise into detail looking at this move up, but potentially you already have a 3, a 4. This is an alternative, right? A 3, 4, 5. Which now means that in a more bullish environment, where is it? Yeah. You're going to look, it doesn't matter. You're going to look for a bigger corrective structure. But that has lower probability for me at the moment. Just because we hit the 886. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing 5, potentially blow off top in a 5, get a bigger corrective structure, right? Or we start a higher degree wave 4. And then we look for continuation up. But that depends on the range. And this is also Elliott Waves and trading. we got to wait what the chart is showing us. But all it shows now is we hit the 886, increasing probabilities that the high is not yet in, and we still have higher prices to come. So yeah. Even if it moves down, higher probability, any move to the downside is corrective, increasing probabilities to take the highs. And if it does, then we're just waiting to see how high it will go again. Macro bearish scenario, which you undoubtedly have seen online, probably, is a flat structure. As long as we don't take this high, there is the possibility for a zigzag, by the way, in a 5-3-5 ABC, but the result is not different from a flat, actually, because wave C in both cases is a 5-wave impulsive move that preferably you want to see go below wave A anyway. So for a flat, your most common flat is an expanding flat. Target area is up here. You can see the prices. Regular flat target is this area here. We now hit the 0.9, 63.6K. Then you're looking for a wave C to the downside, right? ABC in a flat structure. So yeah, currently lower probabilities because if we are looking for a wave B, we need to think about a 3-wave structure to the upside, which then means we have to think about a zigzag, wave A, B, and a wave C. And the common target area for a wave C is between the 1 and the 1.236, which is about here, and the 1.618 is also still relatively common. But once you move above the 1.618 towards the 2.618 for a wave C, trend-based fib extension, taken from the low to the high to the low, probabilities go down for a zigzag ABC. Even though the 2.618 is a target, it's just a rare target for a wave C, and therefore it's not preferred unless we see very strong weakness. Higher probability for impulsive structures compared to zigzag structures once you reach a 2.618. So yeah. But a good Elliott Wave analyst always needs a bullish and a bearish scenario. You can also never have a bias. You can only have probabilities based on Elliott Wave scenarios. But you always need a bearish and you always need a bullish scenario just to make sure you think about both, right? So that is the bearish scenario, thinking about a bigger flat ABC to the upside in a zigzag, which is extended as explained, but at least we have it in mind, you know, just in case we do see impulsive structures to the downside. But at the moment, that is not yet the case, as on the lower time frames, we hit that 886, which is rare for a 2, common for a corrective structure. With regards to CVD, we have CVD moving down as price is moving up here a little bit. What I prefer is wait for a bit of a bigger range, but nonetheless, we do have on yellow here, higher low in price, lower low on yellow, as you can see. So that's a bullish CVD divergence between the range that we had over here and where we are now. Higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, as you can see on yellow. So that's important. And on blue, it's more local here. Higher low in price, lower low on the CVD. So this is the 15-minute chart. Let's have a look here. No bearish CVDs at the moment. Doesn't mean price cannot move down. It's just unlikely that the high is in. Even if you correct to lower prices, as mentioned, probabilities are higher that you're going to have corrective structures here, right? This is some structural support. Let's talk about support resistance, by the way. We are this white box. This was previous resistance, which is now acting as support, as you can see. So that is one, I suppose. But let me open my folders here. We have A. And also let me remove this white one. We have a daily naked point of control at 60K. Then we have this range, which is structural support. And of course, we have the range point of control, which is at 57K, same as the current week point of control. I'm actually not sure if I checked it this morning. 1 second here. I think I forgot about this. The current weak point of control is at 61k now. It moved to the upside. Oh, of course, we closed the month as well. 51,800, 61k. Okay, 1 second here. This is Altas, by the way. This one is irrelevant at the moment, but I want the monthly. Yeah, monthly point of control is same as the range point of control over here, so that's an important level. But to the downside, daily naked point of control, 60k. Then we have this range over here, which will always be important support. And then below that, we have the daily naked point of control. So those are the three support areas really to the downside. And to the upside, daily naked point of control, 62.5k, 63k, value area high, 62.4k. And then above price, we have this blue box here, 64.9k, 65.9k. So probabilities then, I pretty much explained. So the probabilities as written over here as well. More towards the bullish scenarios, waiting for a bigger range to form, the green 4 or the yellow 4, and then one more high at least. That's what you expect in the bullish scenario. The macro bearish flat has lower probabilities due to a wave B to the upside being a zigzag, with wave C reaching the 2.618 levels. It is possible, as we see on the lower time frames as well. It's just less common and something we have to keep in mind. Locally, looking for the highs to be taken once more. The 886 is rare for 2, common for corrective structures, increasing the probabilities that even if price is moving to the downside, hitting the point of control, hitting the range, that it is corrective, not impulsive. And sooner or later, we're looking for the highs to be taken. So that's it. Voilà, mon ami. It's actually quite warm here. I don't know. Okay, let me actually quickly bump my message. Live chat. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Poof. Pin it. Okay. I haven't, also because of time and being in South Africa, I didn't really have the opportunity to count this structure on a 15-minute time frame. Can be interesting for later. For now, let's go chatting and Q&A. Also, another thing is, by the way, we also hit an 886 here. Taken from the high to the low, 886. Was another 886 touch here. So, increases the probabilities for a 3-wave structure. Another one. Okay, let me have a quick look. Where were we? I cannot unhear the music when you write Blue Oyster. Thanks, Mark. What's up, Nick? How you doing? Christian, enjoy SA. Thank you. Need to start kite surfing. Yeah, I like surfing, but I've never done kite surfing. My wife has, though. Are biomedical engineers allowed? I think only doctors. It's very niche. Less is more, right? What is your second point for... What do you mean, Abusni Sok? What is your second point for fan? Man, the sun rays penetrate the clouds easily, sometimes make them even stronger. Yeah, and you don't really realize that that you still, of course, the sun rays, they're still reaching you, but how can I say this? The clouds, of course, do hold something back, but it's still sun rays on your skin, and we were like, yeah, we are not gonna use sunscreen. And yeah, last time we were here, I'll never make that same mistake. What's up, the yogurt? How you doing, Bettina? Taking a short position on it. Make sure you trade safe. Trade safe. How do you group? Oh yeah, 212s. It's just the second wave 2 becomes a flat or a WXY. Same targets for a flat. That is correct. Good night, Dave P. What's up, John? Hit the like button, you lazy folks. Thanks, Christian. ETH has a much better 5 waves down from the top than Bitcoin. Yeah, and also the one on Bitcoin it's very short in time for a wave 1 as well, right? This move down here, it's incredibly short in time if all of this is your wave 2. Preferably your wave 2 is then already finished. But counting this as a 1, 2, and then this is another, yeah, what is this then, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, that's it. That just looks shit. 1, unless you count this as 2, but that's a lower high. Which is not preferred. So on Bitcoin, like you say, it's definitely a lot more difficult to count this impulsive plus the 886 touch that we have here as well. Probabilities. Yeah. Gideon. Nobody expects this again. That's why it's maybe so nice. But at the moment, we don't see great local weakness. So for that bearish scenario on the macro, on the weekly time frame, and then also on the daily, we need to see strong local weakness before the probabilities are switching, which is not something we see just yet, right? So at the moment, probabilities are therefore not on the side for the bearish scenario. Of course, we have been talking about volume at times, right? The volume so far is pretty mad. Don't focus on the lines, by the way. These are just the lines to organize my object tree. But if we look at the volume here, then yeah, you have a high volume candle now, and just like we had in here 2020, the volume really started to come in over here. This is where you started to see increasing volume, right? So, and not to forget this candle here, that's this. So you were quite high already. Price moves up, volume going down, right? Bit of a corrective structure, volume down. A second wave 1, bit of a bump, and then ups, retracement in volume. And then as price goes up, we see a bit of volume increasing. And then you get the big bump. So, of course, only in hindsight you'll know if you have your wave 3. But it's important to keep an eye on the volume. And we do have a bump in volume here. So that is why the volume becomes important. Now, a wave C likes to end on high volume. The difference between ABC and 1, 2, 3 is the 0.618, right? So if you take a 0.618 from this low to wherever the high then is going to be, the 0.618 is an invalidation for 4. But that is what you want to hit in an ABC, because you want to invalidate a wave 4 if you're talking bearish scenarios. Running flat, it's too early because we don't even have wave B finish yet. You need a wave C to the downside. All 5 of the waves need to end before A, so it's a bit too early. The price has to develop to create a triangle. The price to go on the 50-minute. There's a juicy clear one. Can you tell something about it? You're probably talking about this. Yeah, so in a triangle, I only like to count triangles after wave D is in. Because before that time, you can have a couple of 1-2s, you can have WXYs, you can still have flat patterns as well. So it's very early for me to count triangles. So in this case, you're probably counting as here, and then A, and then B, and then C. Probably this is your D and your E. So you're looking for, I also can imagine that the moment a triangle shape is forming, people very quickly think about triangles. But I'll tell you that the probabilities for a triangle are not really high. And that is because of one wave. And I'm actually curious if people know which wave at the moment lowers the probabilities for a triangle. Wave A, B, C, D, or E. What do I mean? I'm curious here. Oh, my chair is cracking. What the? Wave F. That is absolutely correct. It's wave, the fourth wave of the triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's wave B. Wave B here is a problem. So in a triangle, you want 4 out of the 5 waves to be zigzags, right? A zigzag is a 5, 3, 5 wave structure. Simple zigzags, I should note. 4 out of the 5 waves should be a simple zigzag structure. One wave is allowed to not be a simple zigzag structure and can be a double or triple zigzag or a triangle by itself. Now, a double or triple zigzag, in other words, a more complex wave in a triangle, is by far most common in a C or a D guideline. Wave E can be a triangle by itself as well. But wave B here, from the low, a simple zigzag would be a 5, a 3, and a 5 wave structure, right? You can't count 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's overlap here as well. You know, so it's the wave B that currently kills the triangle for me, the triangle idea here. As it then has to be some sort of a complex structure. Like other things, by the way, you have your wave A, which is incredibly short in time, compared to then your wave B, which is very long compared to your wave A. Your wave C is very long compared to A. D is very long. Generally, what you of course like to see in a triangle is your wave A, and then the waves get shorter in time as price goes on, as the waves condense more, like contract more, I suppose. But that is just a side note. It's mainly the wave structures that are important. Yeah, that's the problem, eh, John? That's the problem. I always love to see people online talk about triangles because they're very complex structures, even though they're so easy to find. But that is because WXYs, multiple 1-2s, can mimic triangle price action. Do not forget what we had down here. 1 second. Loading. Oh, look, everyone. It's a triangle. Gotta love it. John was one of the first people, in my opinion, in crypto land to count this as a triple 1-2. On the channel here, I was looking for a WXY instead of a triangle. The triangle was an alternative, not preferred, because I didn't like the subwaves. John counted multiple 1-2s here, which was the most bullish count for a big continuation up. We were, by the way, just a little bit higher here. Yeah, Beardy, it is very good to think about triangles, but make sure to keep an eye on the rules of a triangle as well. Because unfortunately, what you'll find online is that very quickly people divert to a triangle when price action looks like a triangle. The moment they can pull trend lines and it has the shape of a triangle, people talk triangles. But from an Elliott Wave perspective, they might not look at the rules of a triangle, which therefore leads to a lot of fake outs. And the fake outs happen because it's not a triangle. WXYs, multiple 1-2s. So, yeah. But it is good to think about them. But there's a link in the description that will help you with the rules and guidelines of a triangle as well, and what to look out for. Also in a triangle, it's preferred, it's not a rule, but it's preferred that volume goes down as a triangle becomes boring. Bump here, A, B, C, A, B, C, and then D. Oh, are we getting... Oh, I'm getting called by my wifey. 1 second here. Let me actually answer this. Okay. When the wifey calls, you better pick up. Hey, we don't want to get into shit. She just finished, I think, her wedding makeup trial thing, and now she's gonna do her hair. Oh no, wait, she's gonna pick up a friend that is arriving at the airport, and then she's gonna do her hair and all that, the women stuff. So. Yeah, usually I don't know, on the 3 minute I prefer to use 15, especially when we are in trending environments. I like to zoom out a little bit. It's a scalping CVD though. Gideon, please. FYR, hello, how are you doing? What did I miss? The analysis is the time is above, so lots of usually appreciated. Pleasure, Ways of the Jedi. How you doing? Hope you're doing great yourself. And yeah, look. Actually, when price is trending, things become very easy from an Elliott Wave point of view, because you just wait for a range to form, and then once the range forms, that is when you can reassess probabilities. But you got to wait for a range, and now we start ranging a little bit as well, right? So that is good to see, but then once a range forms, that is when you get information that you can work with. As long as price is pumping, it's useless, right? Like we were waiting... mentioned in the previous updates, we were waiting for a range that's the size of wave 2. Reassess. This here is shorter than wave 2. Could be a potential 4, but at the moment not really something I'm looking for. So yeah, now we get a bit of a more serious range here, and we can reassess probabilities, and then you see, oh, 886 is hit. That is stuff that is important for the probabilities. If we are looking for a lot more downside, you want to see either an impulse from the high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, retracement 2, and then a 3 down, 2 preferably not hitting the 886. You want to see a diagonal, right, where all the waves are either leading diagonal 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, or 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 in a leading diagonal. It's at the moment not something we're thinking of. We not close to enough information for this. And it also doesn't look like a diagonal. And then you have a multiple 1-2 setup, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But then again, the 886 preferably is not hit for wave 2s. So yeah. Can this wave 4 become a flat? Gotta go to the 1 minute for this question. Look, a flat is only possible if you get a 3, 3, and then a 5, right? So your first wave A has to be a 3-wave structure. Now looking at the length in time, you have a quick impulse down, but then a very long range. So there's definitely probabilities that you have a 3, 3, and then a 5. This is very short for a wave A though. A, B, and then a C. Very, very short for an A. I'm not so sure if I would like to look for a flat at the moment. Not just yet. It's a bit early because this move is so sharp to the downside. For a wave like A, it's incredibly short if you look at the length of your wave B. Unless you finish your wave A here. But then we're talking A, B, C running flat or something. And then a running flat wave A in a bigger flat. Running flat is rare. Yeah. W, X, Y. W, X, A, B, C, Y. That is a regular flat. Preferably I finish wave A here and not here because of time. Wave A is so short. I prefer to give wave A more body, more time. But it's too early. Got the resistance above us as well. But it is, if you take the high again, so this is how things then roll, right? If you take this high, the bearish scenario is a flat, yes. That's when it switches. So you take the high, bearish scenario will be a flat structure. Bullish scenario is you're gonna have a wave finish either a 5 or your continuation up in a 3, right? So we have resistance above us as well over here. Uh-oh, I think we have a bird in the house. 1 second. Lol, South Africa in a fucking nutshell, eh? So in the house we have this big, like, it's not a wall, it's like we can open the whole front of the house, and a lot of birds are in the front of the house, and you never know. Sometimes they come in. So actually there was a bird in, but he managed to find his way out when I approached. So, jeez. Yeah, I'm definitely looking for the resistance up here still. And that could also, I don't know, for a flat target. I think the flat target is a little higher. The 1.236 is in the middle, 65. Yeah, so this resistance is definitely interesting. And there is absolutely the potential for a flat. Flat is also common in wave 4s, for example. But I would prefer to observe the reaction here and then make the choice for a flat. Because a wave A here in a flat preferably doesn't end here but ends here. And then we either need a zigzag X flat in Y, right? This can be a flat. We did hit over here the 0.9 taken from this high to the low. Also here a flat is actually not preferred. A, B, it looks more like a zigzag because you have a flat A, B, C. A flat B, you took the low. A flat B in a bigger flat structure is very rare. Yeah. Will price go there? Potentially. Of course, we don't know what price is going to do, but what we do realize, as mentioned in the analysis, those birds are crazy, man. Is I'm sure you can't hear it because of the mic settings, but what we do know is that where is it? Oh, here. We are now at the 886 on a weekly time frame. And on a lower time frame, price, oftentimes likes to retrace to the golden pocket, and the golden pocket is at 50K. But at the moment, the problem is you did hit the 886 locally. So preferably, you're going to make one more high and then take it from there. So, but the question is, does it translate to the higher time frames, right? So, as you know, based on all the videos that I make over the past, year, price on the lower time frames moving from the 886 to the golden pocket and then either continue above the 886 or lose golden pocket and retrace further is very common. But does it count the same on a weekly time frame? That's something that is very difficult to say because it doesn't happen too often on a weekly time frame, of course. So we're just gonna keep an eye on the chart. What's up, CDMs? Wish you both best on the wedding. Thank you. thank you, sir. Only covering Bitcoin at the moment. Johnny, do you ever use any other styles of trading, as always specifically Elliott Waves? I use Elliott Waves for swings, but I have a personal day trading strategy that I developed over the years based on data and statistics. So, so that is actually the main strategy I have. That's my main way of trading is the personal developed strategy, and then Elliott Waves is more swingy. It's more like swing trades. Double zigzag, yeah. So it can then be your A, right? But for A flat is a scenario, but that, yeah, I want to see the high taken before I really think about it. The lower volume is an indication of a wave 5, correct, compared to a wave 3. Volume should only be used for divergence. It is supporting price. Can you make a micro and 1 hour chart on Bitcoin? Doesn't really on the 1 hour. We already on the 1 hour. This is 1 hour. Then I looking for 1 2 because we hit the 886. So either looking for this is your first one. 1 2 3 4 5 target area for 4, invalidation for 4, or your wave 5 is already in and you now get a bit of a bigger corrective structure. In both cases it doesn't really matter because price hit the 886. That's the beauty. So because price hit the 886 here, probabilities are a lot higher for price to take the high sooner or later. So that's also a reason why I don't really like to go in a lot of detail in this range here. Like John said, yeah, you can have a double zigzag here. It might be a 5-wave structure, but if you think about an A, B, and then a wave C, 5, 3, 5, then this is a very, very long wave B compared to your wave A, lowering probabilities. That is correct. So in that case, I would prefer wave A finishing here in a 3-waver. But yeah, what I simply look for is, oh, we hit the 886. And you can absolutely get retracements to the downside, right? We also have support to the downside here. But because the 886 is touched, the probabilities are higher that any move down is corrective. So from an Elliott Wave perspective, as it stands now, it makes a lot more sense to still look for higher prices, even if price moves down, right? When price moves to the downside, higher probability it's corrective, not impulsive, which then means that every time price goes down, if we see strength of support, it's a good buying opportunity. But then you want to see proof of support, you want to see strength. Did I just say strength of support? That's a weird one. So you want to see proof of support, right? This is your next support area here. So where is the confluence with the 05? So yeah, the trend is to the upside. Currently, there's no great signs of weakness against the trend. You start a range, you hit the 886, which is a rare target for a wave 2, common for a B or an X, increasing probabilities. Any structures over here are corrective, increasing probabilities to take the highs sooner or later. So without going into detail and you know, for this move to the downside, you got to go to the 1 minute to figure out, is it an impulse, is it a 3-wave structure? I prefer hanging around on the 15-minute, let time and price print the candles, and then take it from there. Also locally here, this is an 886 touch taken from this high to this low, increasing the probabilities that also this move is a 3-wave structure, another 5-wave structure. Oh. Okay, we're getting 1 second. Oh, I gotta go so much quicker. Holy moly, how many people are here now? 142. I should show the birds in my Instagram story so you actually know what I'm sometimes here now. Okay, let me go quick here. Thanks, Moonboot Boy. How you doing? Welcome. AC. Yes, wave B usually takes the high in a flat. Thanks, Moonboot Boy. The problem with triangles is Elliott triangle is different from a basic triangle. This is the thing. It's a triangle is an Elliott wave pattern. The problem with a traditional triangle pattern is people just pull trend lines and they're like, ooh, triangle. And even like people that don't know about Elliott waves will be like, oh, everything that looks like a triangle is a triangle. And that is what leads to the fake outs. So of course you can trade a triangle, but just like we had over here, we did not count it as a triangle. It only became a very much an alternative after price moved out. But the WXY, or in your case, the multiple 1-2 is what you were looking for here. Even though the chart pulling two trend lines, that's so when I was starting, the first two things I learned were trend lines and patterns. And you identify a triangle, you're like, oh, look, everyone, it's a triangle. And it looks like a triangle, but it isn't a triangle, because a triangle is an Elliott wave pattern, and you need to look at these subdegrees, right? The subdegree waves. Is it a zigzag? Are the wave zigzags? Is wave C or D complex? Is wave E maybe an inner triangle? And it just leads to a lot of fake outs. If you don't know the Elliott wave rules, yes, you can trade the triangle, but you won't be able to identify a correct triangle over a wrong triangle, which leads to more losses as you incorrectly trade triangles, as the triangle is incorrect, and therefore get more fake outs, so more stop losses hit. So you have the basic triangle pattern, which, yeah, but in the end the triangle is an Elliott wave structure. Triangle trading. Let's see what we get here. So ascending triangle and all this, it's all A, B, C, D, E. But unfortunately, you don't learn here what the waves are. Of course, this is very simple, right? Oh, just pull two trend lines, and when it's a triangle, then this is what happens, right? Like what even is this? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or what? Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, and then you expect to move to the upside, not the downside. This over here, high probability for a fake out. A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E. Yes, that would also move to the upside if you have a triangle in wave E. So 4xB, I have no idea, right? This is general. So if you would start a wave A, B, C, D, E, okay, then here's E. This is your 1, 2, 3. You expect continuation. You break the lower end of the trend line, fake out to the downside, continuation up, hitting the stop loss. Don't want to break this low here. If you think about A, B, C, D, E, right? Then in that case, it's a new 1, 2, and a wave 3 to the downside. It's not part of a triangle anymore. That is where this works. But you have to correctly identify. They did not, in this picture, draw the line from the low to the first high, which is their mistake. The picture they show here, this is a random one I find on the internet. How they designed the triangle here is a stop loss hit. If they draw a line from the low to the high, that is where it can be a take profit in a wave 3. But without that line, this is a stop loss, funny enough. So the picture is wrong. That's a typical fake out. South Africa is very, very nice, yeah. Fiance doesn't find out. Yeah, I got a fiance, got a wife, got a girlfriend, got it all. What's up, Liquid Mafia? Missing out on all this PA. That's unfortunate. Got no swings running. How's the rings doing, Liquid Mafia? I hope you're getting better soon as well, man. It's annoying to be sick. Hope you're doing better at least than the beginning of the week. Wait, beginning of the week? What day is it now? Friday, yeah. Beardy, I'm trading all triangle values indicating confirmation works so well. Yes, so you can of course use it in Confluence. So you don't necessarily... So Elliott Wave knowledge is definitely recommended. And it's not too difficult on what to look for in a triangle. You can use additional confluences to help you identify a correct breakout versus a fake out. So that is, you make a strategy around the triangle. So then you don't need to know the waves, which is absolutely fine. You can easily trade a triangle, but then you, as you show, you use other stuff as well. In this case, not Elliott waves, but other tools and other indicators. If you only identify a triangle by trend lines, that's when it becomes a problem. Multitasking. Yes. Sometimes you get a double fake out. That's that's WXY stuff. Oh, Jedi. Thanks, Dio. Good question, Kunjamaker. Does the lesser degree wave 2 retrace to the 382 only appear on linear? Good question. Let's have a look. Oh, that actually makes me think. Targets off. Not this one. Preferably your wave 1 and 2 is here because of time. However, in this case you don't hit the 382. Oh, actually, thanks to Liquid Mafia. So we have a bit of a, that's the problem with this one here. Put this wave one here, and price-wise, the retracement is deep enough hitting the 382. Time-wise, it is very short, not hitting the 382 fib time. So if I do this, and then move this up to the high, you can see now the 382 is touched. That's fine for a wave 2, but time-wise, this is very short for a wave 2. Didn't hit the 382. But if I move wave 1 here, and we put the fib time here, then now your time is okay, but your retracement is very, very shallow, not even hitting the 382. Also not on the log. So this second wave 2 is definitely a bit questionable compared to the potential 3, 4, 5, where for a wave 4 this is fine. For a wave 2 it's just very, very short. Let me go to Liquid Mafia. Or the question. So move this here, put it on log. And on log we did not hit it. We did not hit the 382. So this second 1-2 is compared to a 4-5. It's either very short in time but good on the fib, or it's good on the fib but very long, or good in fib time. Good fib time, short retracement, shallow retracement. Or good retracement, very short in time. It's not the greatest. How you doing, Aram888? Thanks for hopping in and benefiting or sharing your knowledge with everyone. I hope that over the past few weeks you countered all of the probabilities that I had in my videos, which would absolutely made your account go to probably minus 100% instead of plus 100%. This guy. Quit Elliott Wave. Majority of your prediction is wrong. Just go through the past videos of, you can, if you want, the past year. There's only, I don't know, 1,200 videos or something, 1,300, maybe even more. Or if you want, you just go over all of February and go through all of the videos in Feb, where I cover all the probabilities and all the waves as well. And you will see that we were correct. So RM888, you're talking absolute bullshit. Koen's living off his waves, that's also correct. My water is finished now. A is supposed to be fast and powerful after a massive pump. All the short-term trades and trailing stop chain react. Yeah, there is the possibility for a 5er, but then A, B, C makes more sense with the 886 touch here. W, X, Y. So a bit of a retracement. But then you're looking, right, you have your A, you have your... I don't like to call... So then I don't want this to be the B high. Because this is not your C, it's so short, right? So then I want your A, then you're looking for a W, an X, and a Y, and then a move down. But your wave W is only allowed to be a flat or a zigzag. And a zigzag here is a problem, and a flat as well. So it's not great that this here is a wave W for W, X, Y. So Prefer to remain patient here locally. As mentioned, retracements are no problem, but we did hit the 886. So. Birds in the house. Stephen, no, absolutely. I'm here whenever I can. It's just that because of everything that's happening here, it's more difficult to spend a lot of time on making content and doing analysis. Yes, that is correct. Arbuzny sock. Need a screen door, bro. Yeah, I mean, there's like we can close I don't know the word in English, but we can open or close the whole wall. You know, it's like glass. We can open and close it. We now have it open. It's warm and it's good to have some wind going through. In South Africa, they don't have air cons, so it's better to keep things open and let the wind do its thing. What's up, Tim? How you doing? Temperature today? I actually have no idea. So at the moment it says 21 here. That's nice. You know, it's not too warm. I can get used to that. Surfing already? Not yet. I didn't go surfing just yet. Vibin Vinny, how are you doing? Great show. If you should analyze a day trading scenario right now, would you go long or short? I do not look the trend. So no financial advice, and I'm also not going to actually cover a scenario here for long or short. All I can say is the trend is up. We hit the 886. Even if you get a retracement down, probabilities are high it's corrective at the moment with the information that we have right now. And yeah, probabilities are therefore higher. The high is not yet in. So, and actually, I think kind of from this range, as mentioned, I don't like to count this range at the moment because we don't have too much info except for the 886 touch, which increases probability. Any move after or any retracement to the downside has a high probability of being corrective, not impulsive, increasing probabilities to take the highs sooner or later. But in order to get a new long, I want to wait and see what is actually structural, like what is forming here. And I want to have more information. It's currently just a sideways range. The thing is, I don't really like this as an impulse because it is so incredibly short for a wave 1 or a wave A compared to either a very long B or a wave 2. It's not. It's time-wise doesn't really work. If this is your 2 or B, and this is another 1, 2, then again an 886 touch from the high to the low. So that's also very awkward. Also, if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, that's a very awkward shape for multiple 1, 2s here. It's also not really preferred. We don't have big bearish CVD divergences at the moment. We still got bullish. Ending a structure here. This move to the upside is not really possible. That would be a truncation as well, which is very rare. So WX Y, but then zigzag ABC, truncation in C, that's rare. So yeah, I prefer to be very patient. So the next 24 hours is observing. I'm not part of anything here locally. I already have a long from lower. So I closed 2 longs before I went to South Africa, but that's mainly because when I'm here, I don't want to manage too much stuff because I don't want to, I want to be out and about as well. So, and the connection here is of course not always great. At home it is, but out and about. So I had 2 longs, not greedy, and I had my most recent still full position, still running. And I am trying to look for TP areas as well. And if I don't see what I want to, if I see a lot of weakness, no problem. I'll TP or close. But yeah, as long as I don't really see strong weakness, I'm fine. Yeah, wait. Oh, I will, John. I'll keep I'll check it out. Gold book for BNB. from low to the high that touched the 886. Low to the high, golden pocket. 1, 2 in C is already done. Not really sure what you mean. A 1, 2 in C. Are you talking about A, B, and you're now working on a C where this is your 1, 2, or Busni? So you have like 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you look up. Pleasure, Johnny Mango. I love hearing when people learn something as well. It's a goal of the channel to educate while updating as well. 69k before the halving. Well, if it can pass this resistance, there's not much left. This is the final area of resistance I have before pretty much all-time highs. So 64.9, 65.9, pretty much 65 to 66. Bruno, I believe I've read in some educational content that there could be extension of 2 waves in a 5-wave impulse, like 3 and 5 as examples. Do you agree? That would be on like in very impulsive structures. You can, yes, have a wave 3 extended and then a blow off top in a 5, which tends to be long as well. So yes, would agree. Stacy Racy, you're live for the last hour. Correct. It's 4:30 a.m. for me. 4:30 a.m. I need to sleep before the market opens, but I can't resist listening to you. Well, thanks for hanging out and saying hi as well and being here. 4:30 a.m. That's nutty. I would definitely recommend getting some sleep as well. But cheers, Stacy. Good to have you here. Appreciate it. Live for the last hour. I actually don't know how long we're live for now. 1 hour and 34. So yeah, 1 hour and 34 minutes. I hate triangles. Yeah, even if you get a good elevator triangle, can break either way because the first zigzag down can be. Yeah, triangles are annoying structures. Also, the question is the triangle right? Do you have a WX triangle Y, a B triangle C, or is the triangle a whole wave 4? You know what I mean, John? Like the first move down or up, but let's say you have a triangle, right? You have a triangle, you have your structure to the upside. You get a move down and then up and then down and then up. This is then the question, right? If and then another move down, right? Is this move down wave A of a triangle in an A, B, C, D, E, and then up? Or is this move down, your wave W, you get an X triangle, and then you do this. That is always, I like to look for CVD in this case as well, where now you have a WX and then you go for a Y. So yeah, it's triangles, man. Sideways action. What's up, Andrew? Stacy getting a dose of Kun ASMR before going to sleep. Message retracted. I do. Yo, do you erase your vid? I want to learn from you, but I'm at work. No, I never erase any videos. Everything that is online is online. So no, it's all out there. So also this video will be online, and I'll make sure to put a timestamp in after recording where I start the analysis and end the analysis and then start the chatting. So it's usually introduction, Elliott Wave analysis, chatting. Those are the 3 timestamps that I put into live streams. I was just going to quickly check his count. Wait, that makes me think my sharing was off here. I only earlier today, because I was doing stuff for Diamond, but I might put it back on now. Thanks, Moonboot Boy. Just role-based trading patterns in the bin. Yeah, I never look at them, but it's interesting. So I don't trade patterns, but that's where I started. So I do know them, you know, the M and the W and the cup and handle and the triangle and the diamond and the whatever, you know, like most people, I suppose, start with that in their. They start with that in their. How can I say this? Yeah, whatever. It's just where they start, you know. So for most people, at least. But and I can, if someone says, hey, yo, what this pattern? Do you look for this pattern? You know, head and shoulders. I know from an Elliott Wave point of view what a head and shoulders is, or a cup and handle, or a diamond and stuff. So I'm still translating it to Elliott waves nowadays, I suppose. The Bart Simpson's pattern, that's the only legend one. Dim Jack, welcome back. Welcome back again from Hong Kong. Is it possible we are now in a... that we are now flat ABC ranging and waiting for a push-up? A flat. Well, in that case, for a flat, you preferably take the high, right? So there's 3 flats. You have an expanding flat, A, B, C. B takes the high of A, right? And C takes the low of A. You have a regular flat, A, B, C. We're also in a regular flat. Preferably you take the high, but the minimum target is the 0.9 Fibonacci. And then you want to see a wave C down. Or a running flat, A, B, C. B preferably takes the high of A, by far most common. And then you have wave C, doesn't take the low of A. Now in this case... Holy shit. Hold this. I dropped my mic almost. Sorry for your ears there. No idea what you heard there with me dropping the mic almost. Dropped the mic. So if I move this to the 0.9, right, one could say, okay, well, A, B, and then C, right? And then, oh, end of the flat continuation. Yeah, well, it's a running flat. Running flat is most rare. Expanding flat is most common. Then the regular, then the running. Running flat is therefore the least common flat structure. So not preferred unless the other stuff fails. And also we want to then count, of course, a 3, 3, 5. Well, arguably this is then your 5, but then you need to end wave B here, right? But for wave B to end here, you're going to talk about truncations because this high is lower than this high. So this is either a truncated C, truncated whatever, and a truncation is very rare. So then you have a running flat plus a truncation in B is rare upon rare is very rare. So preferably, therefore, what we're looking for still in a flat would be for price to take this high and then drop. Now the drop to the downside, this is something we only know later. If we get a drop, we either have a 5 here or a B. 5 is the bearish count, B is the bullish count, because after a C you expect to move up, but after a 5, if you move down impulsively, this is going to be a wave A or wave 1, 5, 3 continuation. While if this is a B and a C down, you expect continuation up. So that is something we only know after we actually test this area and observe the reaction and get a bit of a move to the downside. So for a flat, preferably you still look for higher. I shorted thinking the rise stopped and become a bit irrational. What's up, mate? Can't read the size, but yeah, it's just higher risk. You know, the trend is your friend, as they tend to say. I think that in trending, and this is something I had in the past, in trending environments, people try to catch the top, so they try to catch a knife, in other words, which will lead to a lot more losses than wins in my case. So I will never ever do that again. That's something from the past, like long time ago, and yeah, it's I really wait for signs of weakness before I consider going against a trend with regards to shorting from an Elliott Wave point of view. So and at the moment we don't yet have that really. You're gonna have to get over how fast the first move. It was fueled by news. Yeah, it's still fast. It's still a very, very fast drop to the downside here. And even if we want to count this as an A or 1 and then a B or 2, then this has to be your B or 2, as this is a truncation, low probability. Now, if this is your B or 2 here, which then would be a higher probability, then what is this? Another 1, 2, 1, 2, but you don't have bearish CVD divergences. You have bullish ones, preferably in a multi 1, 2 to the downside, we see bearish. Or is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Well, that's a truncation. We don't like truncations. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5. That's an expanding diagonal because there's overlap, which is also not preferred. So it all just adds up to corrective price action compared to impulsive price action. Thoughts on Sol? Not looking at altcoins, but Solana has been covered. If you go to my channel, then there is the... Oh, wait, I don't... Oh, there we go. And you go and scroll down. Then here you see altcoin Elliott Wave analysis. And one of the coins we did was Solana. So it will be there. Yeah. On the 9th of March is most likely exactly what it looks like halfway through the final third wave over 4. Yeah, not surfing but streaming. Could go surfing still actually. It is now 1 a.m. I could take the car and go to the beach and go surf. I generally wait. I think yo Tim, I think actually Luke is coming. 1 second, I'm gonna check my WhatsApp here. Is Luke coming to me now? Let me write Luke here, because I think Luke is gonna come. Like Luke is a friend of mine. Let me write if he comes this way, and if yes, how late? Because then I am interested to go to the beach and surf maybe. Thanks, Moonwood Boy. Already answered this. In which case, wave C could be... wave C is never 3 waves. Wave C is always a 5-wave structure. Every wave C is always 5. That's a good thing to remember. Cheers, Moonwood Boy. Enjoy the hike. Safe surfing. Surfing the waves on the chart, and maybe later this afternoon in the ocean. I subscribed and subscribed. What do you mean by blow off top? Flash crash. A blow off top is a high volume top, which generally then has this structure, blow off, and then you quickly move down. It has a lot to do with the greed and the hype. It's something you tend to see a bit more often, I suppose, in the altcoin scene. Also because of the volumes in altcoins. But like here, pump, right? And actually, you did have a bit of a retracement, grab the high, and then you move down. So yeah, you did make another high on lower volume. So it's actually not really necessarily blow off top. But this is, look how sharp and how high it goes. Very high volume, right? Increase, more. This is like your blow off, where then you get a big move to the downside. This move to the downside here was 31% in pretty much 1 day. Well, okay, 2 days, because from the high, you know, this candle had to close, and then the next day. So you have a 30% move down in 1.5 days, okay? So, yeah. And then you made another high. Took the this is, yeah, a bit of a sell sign, I suppose. But Bitcoin standards, that's what came, I suppose, for now, closest to seeing a blow-off type of top. Flat ABC, okay, WXY. So a WXY sideways double combo, WXY, it's a sideways structure, right? A WXY is a 3, 3, 3. And inside, so a WXY is a structure where wave W is either a zigzag or a flat. Wave Y can be a zigzag, a flat, or a triangle. Wave X can be anything. So a WXY extends a corrective structure in time, and inside W or Y or X, you can have a flat. While if you talk about a flat structure, it's just a single pattern, right? A, B, C, A, B, and then a wave C. Most common expanding, then regular, then running. Now the difference between the two is that here you get 3 waves down. Here you get a 5-wave move down. Wave A in a flat structure tends to be a zigzag, ABC. Wave B most commonly is also a zigzag, ABC. Wave A can be a triangle, by the way. And then wave C is 5 waves. So if you don't yet have this final part. So you don't yet have this on the chart. You only have the move down and the move up. Once the move up, this is important for a flat, reaches the 0.9 Fibonacci, that's when a flat has potential. A wave X doesn't have to retrace to the 0.9 to go down in a Y. For a flat, the 0.9 is a minimum target taken from the high to the low of A. So you need to hit the 0.9 to think about a flat. All right. Now, the moment price moves above wave A, the probabilities are higher for an ABC flat compared to a WXY, even though wave X can go above the high of wave W as well. So what you will usually see me do is have both of them on, a WXY and an ABC. And if we take the high, how can I explain this? So what you'll see me do in videos is I do this. Because with the first move down, right, three-wave structure in A or W, we don't yet know what we get. So then I pull a fib from the low to from the high to the low, put it on wave X, double combo. So this is your wave X target area, which is pretty much all of the fibs now. And then I also put on the chart the wave B expanding flat. So now I do this. Expanding flat is most common, so that's why I like to start with the expanding flat. Let me only use the common target area. So if price turns around in this area, probabilities are higher for a WXY because it didn't hit the 09. The moment price hits the 0.9, we got to think about a flat. But if price takes this high, probabilities are higher for an ABC flat compared to a WXY. In both cases, if price does move up and we do get a WXY, the common target area for X above W is the same as B. So that's something. But then the move down in an ABC is an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in a wave Y, you either expect a triangle, a flat, or a zigzag. So before wave X or B is in, I usually have both on the chart, and only depending on the move to the upside, I'll know are we looking for X or B, because of the impulsivity and the structures that we get to the upside here, and then that's where probabilities constantly change. The moment this high is taken, probabilities are higher for a flat compared to a WXY. And for a flat, again, you want at least a 0.9 to be hit. So a flat, like also Dr. Daddy says, flat is 335, WXY is 333. What's up, Rile? Trading Journey. What do you mean, Trading Journey, Rile? Welcome, by the way. Rile Martinoni. After all these years, Head and Shoulders is still bro for me. What's up, Cheese? How you doing? Nice that you caught alive. A three-way structure is still, but the other correct structure can be in the Google check. Yeah, I really recommend the... do I have this? Because I cleared my whole browser. No, I don't. Okay, so 1 second. I need to... Let me go to my own video here. So in the description, there is a link when you go to Elliott Wave sources I used to learn, and then detailed Elliott Waves. Click on this one. This is for me the best, one of the best websites. This here. Read this stuff, right, as well. And then yeah, you just scroll down and you can see a lot of things. But I don't really like their WXY section too much. I think it's very simple in a way, but it at least gives you some info. And the second link, more detailed, that's the other one you can check, but I would recommend starting with this one. Potentially, Rowan. Depends on the time frame as well, actually. Oh, look, the dad of my fiance is in the house now as well. Mr. Philip Reynolds. I'm live on stream. You want to say hi? Yeah. You want to say online to 140 people watching.
Yes.
Wait, this is look. So I say hi to Philip, everyone. So this is the chat here.
Hello, guys.
And there's currently 140 people watching, as you can see here by the number. And yeah, this is the chat. So Tim, you'll meet Tim, by the way. He will come to South Africa, but he's not here yet. He says, "What's up?"
Is it Stein's brother? What?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my word! I see the surname. So him and his brother coming.
Yeah, it's a twin.
Fantastic. And are they listening to us now or not?
Yes, through the mics. You can see every time it moves here, it picks up our voice, so the chat can hear. So you can see here, hello, Mister. Hello, hello, Mister. So yes, it's me. That's Tim. He's listening. Stacy says hi. Dealy Crypto. So where in South Africa are you?
Cape Town, down south, the best place on planet Earth. We call it Pura Vida, pure good life.
Yeah. So I like his shirt, Fox.
That's me, Foxy. I suck in my stomach. Have a good one.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks everyone. So that's Philip. He's the father of my wife now, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, he's a great guy. So he came in with a couple of pans just now. You have the same. Oh, you have the same shirt. Dealy, are you from South Africa as well, by any chance? That would be something. Let me quickly see what you wrote up here and then move down. How do you end your wave A on 65? Only if it's a WXY or an ABC, but that's why I said I just want to wait for more information, right? I actually went over it already to try and end it here. Preferably time-wise, I would, but it's not as nice as then you have either a running flat structure or an ABC that's truncated, which isn't nice as well. So yeah, increases probabilities. This is your first structure. It's just very quick. It's very sharp. The B wave high is the high. No need to even think about truncations. No. Truncations are important. But then this is the high. I'll check Discord in a second. Yeah. There we are in wave 5 already on the 4-hour chart. Yes, that is one of the. I mean, depends. So of course here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, 5 has the highest amount of volume, which is generally not really something you like to see unless wave 5 is the extended wave, which of course is a possibility. But it's most common that wave 3 is extended, not wave 5. The most bullish scenario is that you have 1, 2s here, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, and a move up. But this is so shallow, such a shallow retracement. Also shallow here that it's very counterintuitive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks better because this is a very shallow range, more often a wave 4, compared to having a 1, 2, 1, 2. And now move up in a 3. But the volume that we have here would suggest 3 compared to 5, unless 5 is extended. So that's why I prefer. That's why also in the analysis, I didn't show analysis of this move up. I'm only focused on the local area here, which is most important. So I prefer to look locally at the moment and look for weakness here. Yeah, I will, Tim, I will. He's here in the Elliott Wave. Happy wedding. Have a great time. We'll probably fall asleep. That ASMR is real with your... Oh, really? A relaxing voice. Oh, boy. Thanks, Stacy. I suppose ASMR is real. That's maybe change the name of the channel. Kunst Trading /ASMR. No, thanks, Stacy. Have a good night as well. Enjoy your sleep. I have a target to 66k. Oh, that's the same area where I have the resistance here as well. Still looking for it to be hit, actually. What's the target for it? WXY is very rare, therefore never preferred. Yes, that's correct. It's 5 times 3 waves, yes. but you're only allowed one zigzag in W, Y, or Z. Arbuzny Sok, I would recommend going through gold. You have access because you're a member. So if you go to gold and you go to the YouTube playlist or the playlist channel, just check it out there. All the information is in there as well. So target for an X wave is the 382 to the 886, and if it moves above W, it's usually the 1.236 to the 1.38 Fibonacci. So WXY if below the 0.9, a flat if you go above your W or A. If you see anyone street logging, tell them Stacy says hello. I miss my Cape Town friends. Wait, Stacy, are you from Cape Town or you've been here? I'm actually curious who's from Cape Town, if we have anyone from Cape Town here as well. Oh, right. Okay, I see. Yeah, it's the typical trading journey, starting with trend lines and patterns, I suppose. They're in Durban. Family of my wife now is in Durban as well, but they're coming to Cape Town for the wedding on the 9th of March with the ceremony and stuff. Do you guys know who Michael Tellinger is? I do not know. Seems like a nice guy. He is. A kind guy. Yeah, absolutely. Nice people I've met are from Cape Town. Dimjack. Cheers, man. Welcome to the Golden Team. Top step of the podium. Yeah, send me an email, Dimjack, with your username, your YouTube username, Discord username, Telegram username, if you have Telegram. For gold, by the way, the main thing is Discord, because that's kind of like the place to be. We don't have a Telegram channel specifically for gold, but we do have silver updates in both Telegram and Discord as well. But yeah, welcome, Dimjack. First member since I'm in Africa. There you go. Cheers. So yeah, make sure to check out the Discord channels once I give you the role. But send me an email with your stuff, and I'll make sure to add to give you access everywhere. For Solana, I recommend watching my altcoin video, which is not here. Where is it? So you go to my YouTube channel, you scroll down, and you will find a playlist. Here. And Solana is one of the coins that we covered. Timestamp is in the description. Seems like a great fun guy. Yeah, he is. he's a great guy, man. Crazy great guy. United States. The United States of America. I mean, what are the chances to have the same shirt, eh? Seriously. They will both 5 or 3 extended. BT runs 5 likes commodities, where the 5 is run by fear. Yes. Fear, FOMO. I agree. Don't really like ending it with an 886 touch at the retracement, though. Could the wave 4 already be in? Oh, on the 1 hour, yeah. Yeah. That's the alternative where this is your 4. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is in, and then you start a bigger retracement. But we did hit the 886, so it's something that I keep in mind here. And we don't yet have big bearish CVD divergences as well at the moment. So what I would really like to see is I would like to see absorption of market longs with big limit shorts, creating bearish CVD divergences. So if price moves down and eventually goes back up, I want to see the bearish CVD actually, really. I'm not sure if we did AGIX actually. I don't think that's in the altcoin video. But yeah, not doing altcoins here at the moment. If this is wave 5 on the market, it looks longer than wave 3. On the macro, you're talking weekly time frame here, right? We are currently not looking at scenarios where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the end. So the current scenarios we have here is either you look for higher, right, in another 3, 4, a double 4 wave, or a single finish 5, then 4 and 5 in the bullish scenarios. but not an ending structure in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. You raised street. What is this? Okay, street luge. 1 second here. What is this? Oh wow! No way. This is called street luge. This is what you did. Wow, that's really cool. I've never seen this. We don't have this in the Netherlands because we have no mountains. You know what I mean? Like you can go off a little hill and that's it. Red Bull Racing, or a Red Bull Street Luge Racing. So this is what you did, Stacy. That's incredible. What a cool sport. Wow, that must go very. You must reach some high speeds with the mountains you have in Cape Town here. Man, the crashes must be painful as well. You were the #1 female in the world. Oh shit! We got a very, how do you call it, well-known person in here. Stacy. Oh well, that's a question, of course. We don't know if what's the real name or not. Don't feel pressure to share that. But yo, very, very impressive. Very impressive. I can imagine though, if you do crash with these speeds, at least you have a helmet and stuff, but and the suit. But it can be quite painful, no? Oh, we have an athlete in the chat. How nice is this? It's crazy that crypto markets are for #1 female in the world. Holy moly, that's impressive. Are there like world championships in that sport as well? Yeah, of course. Always feel free to ask questions. I will to learn from you in the future. Cheers, Dimjack. Really cool. See you join. Top step. So lots of Elliott Wave knowledge in there. And Big Face with Koens and Big Face. Big Face, I think. Oh wait, yeah, behind me. Bitcoin is holding good. Yeah, at the moment it is. It's still based on the structures here, a bit of a question mark. What is forming exactly? Of course, yeah, you have a bit of a range, which is nice, but the range is not giving a lot of clarity just yet, except for, hey, we touched the 886, so that's something to highlight. But other than the 886, there's not too much information. So it's not impulsive to the upside, not impulsive to the downside at the moment. 886 touch here as well, from the high to the low. That's your second one. What's this? We also didn't yet take this high if you look for a 3-wave structure. Standard. So this was a 786 retracement. Right, move up, down, 786, and up again. But we didn't yet take this high. So in that case, if price does take the low again, we have to think WXY. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, W flat, W, right? Then we get an X and then a zigzag up, zigzag, A, B, C, and wave Y. So then you have your flat X zigzag, W, X, Y, and then you look for lower prices. But we have bullish CVD divergences. We don't have significant bearish ones. So we hit the 886. So I unless we really see great signs of weakness, I'm just very patient with any shorts. Because also this is when we only consider this area of the chart. But we have this move down. Yeah, it looks impulsive. Can be a wave 1 or a wave A. But then we have this move up. Let me actually see what John did. Because he said, check my messages. Let's have a look here. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, ending diagonal. Oof, that's a very, very long wave C compared to your wave A in time. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is yesterday. 1 week. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Yeah, preferably a bit more high. On the SPX. What do you write here? Oh wait, you can't actually see. Oh wait, you can because pin pan WX flat and then a wave Y. Yeah, maybe so many of those options if B isn't in yet. Hard to settle on the one that matters. Exactly, and that's also why I prefer to be so patient in this area. The only thing is that we hit the 886. That is the only thing in this range that increases probabilities or decreases probabilities for scenarios. It's just the 886 touch. Other than the 886, I prefer not to yet do analysis in this area here because of the waves that are not yet very clear. Elliott Waves is a lot about patience as well now. Championship used to be in Austria each year. Did you like was it in cities or the Red Bull Ring or something? That would be quite sick on a racetrack. But that's insane. Austria. So there is a world championship in that sport as well. What a crazy sport. Street luge. I had no idea it was called like that in English. Don't even know the Dutch name, now that I think about it. Ajax, I don't do anything with altcoins. So the altcoins I analyzed recently are in this video. And if you go to this video here and wait, sorry for that. And then you go to the description, timestamps. These are the ones that are in this particular video, live stream. So yeah, I recommend checking these out, but I don't have any opinion on other altcoins as I don't really have anything on them because I'm not an altcoin trader myself. Mainly focused on Bitcoin, Ether and Solana a little bit, but Elliott Wave wise, only Bitcoin. I only trade Bitcoin from an Elliott Wave point of view. So everyone was expecting a pullback of the initial pump, and then we just consolidated sideways for like 2 weeks. Yeah, but the nice thing is that once a consolidation happens, that is when you can reassess probabilities. So the only thing we have now is an 886 that really has, it can impact probabilities. If you go to a 6-hour time frame here, then you can see over here we had that big pump. We started ranging indeed for a long time, but also here CVD was bullish CVD all the time, and this was an 886 retracement as well. Eventually we took the highs. As you can see, by the way, this was an 886 touch. We moved down, but then later we came back up and still took the highs. So I like ranges because they give information, and the only information that I can really distill or get from this range at the moment is, hey, we touched the 886, so any move down probability wise has a higher probability of being a corrective structure and not impulsive. Of course, a wave C, A, B, and then a wave C. Wave C is an impulse, but it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least lower probabilities. This is a wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, because wave 2, it's a rare target, the 886 for wave 2, but it's common for a B or an X or corrective structures. You can still, WXYs, ABCs, flats. Wave 4s tend to be a pain in the ass as well. Ending structures. So there is the potential, of course. You have an end here. As mentioned earlier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, end, blow off top pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ending, volume. Yeah, so volume in the high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finished. But if it is finished and you want to see a deep retracement, right, a deeper move to the downside, preferably you're not going to start with an 886 touch. You want to start with an impulse, 1, 2, or A, B, and then a move down, where 2 doesn't hit the 886. If you really want to move down, you want an impulse, because an ABC, after an ABC, you expect to be the high, like to take the highs again. So if you really want a sharper move, you want a wave 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, where wave 2 does not hit the 886, because it's such a rare target for a wave 2. It's just probabilities. But we are at very high levels, right, at high prices. So risk management and trade management is very, very important. So with regards to like entering new trades, managing trades, TPs, stop losses, trailing stop losses, and all that stuff. But yeah, for now we hit the 886. And it's all probabilities. Nothing is 100% guarantee. It's not like, 100% probabilities that X, Y, Z, but it's just probabilities that, hey, 886 is touched, taken from the high that we have to the low here. High probability it's corrected. When you think we're going to have a deep pullback? Well, for a deep pullback, as mentioned, we actually want to have impulsive moves down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, starting with an impulse would be the best. And it's because we have the potential on a higher time frame to be in a wave 3 now. Still, it's difficult to say when that happens. The one target area above price or resistance area. So if we have the 886, probability suggests we take the high at a given moment, even if we move down a bit. Now, if price takes this high and we hit this resistance, which is the final one before all-time highs pretty much, this would be a great area for a sharp retracement, in my opinion, because you're going to create a double top, right? All-time high, and then a lower high. You're going to create a double top. People are going to be extremely bullish, as they already are, I can imagine. I don't even know the greed and fear index at the moment. But you want to wreck all the late people, like just that would be something I'd be very interested in, or take the all-time high and then get a retracement, which is the alternative. So that you also, the funding rates, of course, are very high, greed is high, the hype is high, all that stuff, and it would be good to see it neutralize. So, but I don't like an 886 touch to start a bigger retracement. So either I'd be looking for the blue box, and then I want to see an impulse down, retracement, and then get a bigger move, or take the all-time high and then get a bigger retracement. But as we say, retracement, how deep is it? At the moment, probabilities are higher for bullish scenarios, but in a bullish scenario, you still expect probabilities or bigger retracements as well. So, looking for a 5 eventually now. For example, here, we take a fib from the low of the yellow 2 to wherever the high of your yellow 3 is going to be. We don't yet know, but at the moment, is this on this is the weekly time frame. We can check what it does. So let's do this. So on the log chart, that would be 51k to 40k, and on a linear chart, that is 55k to 44k. And that is your wave 4 target area, right? Common target area for your wave 4 is what I just mentioned. So that is, of course, relatively deep. Only up unhealthy, yeah, that would be pretty. It's quite simple. The higher price goes without a bigger sideways retracement, the bigger the retracement is going to be. So the more it pushes, the bigger the drop you get afterwards. So it's nice to see if you go up, sideways, up, sideways, up, sideways. That's much more sustainable than having price do this, because then you expect a bigger move down. So yeah. And also in this scenario here, you're then looking for 1, 2, eventually a 3, a 4, and a 5. So then in this case, you go up and up. You expect a bit of a range in 4 eventually. But it's difficult to know when a wave 4 starts. You just want to wait till it's there. Preferably the same as your 1, 2, which, you know, we had a talk about this 1, 2 already. But then your 4s can be deep. Yep, they can go easily like to like very low retracement levels. 61. Imagine going to 100k and then go back to 60 in a zigzag for a wave 4. Yeah, possible. Taking the higher outcome first with one of the next 5 waves is common. Yeah, for a new impulse. Yeah, it would be nice to see the all-time high taken and then retrace. That would be sick. The 12 across the old high, reg people, makes a nice deep too. Yeah, that's something to look for. Like just a deeper retracement. What are the probabilities that we retrace to the golden pocket at 49k? On a weekly time frame, it's unknown. On the lower time frames, it's common, 60%. But yeah, it's common on lower time frames. But on the weekly, you barely ever get that opportunity to track this. I don't know. You know, I don't like to track data. You want to see weakness. That's the thing. You want to see weakness. At the moment, we don't have local weakness because we touched the 886. We are starting a range now, which is nice, and of course we touched the 886, which is nice. And the golden pocket is down here, which is common on lower time frames to hit. It's very common for price to move to the 886 or to the golden pocket, but now we're talking about weekly and daily time frames. And yeah, you start with an 886 touch, which isn't great. If you want to go all the way down here, preferably you're starting with an impulsive move. Either ABC, or you start with an impulse and then an ABC and then a move back up and a double zigzag, or you get a flat structure, or preferably you start with a zigzag, at least with a 5-wave structure, which is low probabilities because you touched the 886 from the high to the low. 64k, we can easily go down to 30k. Well, not easily. And again, you need to see local weakness. Don't get your hopes up. Okay, we're in a trend to the upside. The trend is your friend. Like, I don't know who is trying to short this here, but from an Elliott Wave point of view, it's not what I do. Only if you see strong signs of weakness. We are not seeing signs of weakness. 886 is touched. That's not a sign of weakness. So we need a lot more information if we want to go down to 30k. But there is the potential. Well, 30k, by the way, is very low. Not in the bullish scenarios. That if you go down to 30k now, this wave 4 here currently, no, there's no way. No, that is 44k here. So and on a log chart, no, 30k, that's too low. If you go to 30k, you're likely going to go below 15k. This is 40. So if you go all the way down to 30, which is here, that would be bearish. So yeah, then you got to think about this because in a bullish scenario, this is preferably your 1, 2, and you continue to the upside, right? So if you go back all the way down to 30 here, that's a massive retracement. If you 30 flat, right? We're talking about 30k flat. Yeah. Even if you have your 1, 2 and another 1, 2, where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a retracement, take a fib from the low to the current high. wave 2 target area. And then I'm on a log chart. Let's check linear as well. So this is 33K. And on log, that's 30K 786. Would be very, very deep. It is still a target for a wave 2 though. 786. Common target area is the 05 to the 786. But if you're in a bull market, preferably, you know, 382, 05 golden pocket are more common than a 786. So probabilities are just not yet on the side to think about 30K. You need to see very strong local weakness for price to go that low, which at the moment is not. It's not what we see. It's just not there. From a mental health point of view, just don't short pumps. Yeah, wait for high degree 5 waves down and 2B. Yeah, you want to wait for impulses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a correction can be traded for a short. But the 886 is yeah, probability wise, not really something you want to see in a wave 2. So so that is that pretty much. $51K. Yeah. Only if you count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you want to see a sharp retracement back towards the previous range. But then preferably you start with an impulsive structure, not an 886 touch. So at the moment, probabilities are not yet on the side for that, unless you have a finished 5 wave or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if we look for deep retracements, we look for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. And at the moment, we touch the 886. So this is it. I don't want to count this stuff because we hit the 886, so I just remain patient. The only thing that really impacts probabilities for now is the 886 touch taken from the high to the low. 886 common for B or X, rare for a wave 2. If you are looking for much lower prices, you want to start with an impulse preferably. And you can get yourself an ABC, so you can get a wave A, B, and then eventually a wave C down, but then you still expect price to continue. So, and even in an ABC, your B has to end either here or here, and then this is another move down, another sideways structure. It just takes, C is so much longer than A. Yeah, so it's no problem for price to move down, but 51K at the moment would be very low. So, yeah. It's all probabilities though. 886 is simply rare for 2, whatever the structures say. So I completely disagree with this, by the way. The 886 retracement taken from the high to the low, probabilities are simple. Higher for a B or X, lower for a wave 2. So if you're counting this as an A or a wave 1, the 886 pool is taken from the high to the low. I don't have to put counts on this chart. I don't have to count this move to the upside here. I don't have to do that shit. The only thing I have to do is put an 886 on my chart and I have enough information here. And then I just wait for price to show what it does. It can retrace, it can move down. I don't care if it does. Probabilities are higher. The high is not yet in because you hit the 886. And that's the only thing I care about from an Elliott Wave point of view in this range over here. I'm not trading the 1 or 5 min time frame stuff here. You know, I'm not trying to look and count the 15-minute over here because we don't yet have great clear information of what is actually happening here. The only thing that is very clear is we hit the 886. So at the moment, for me, it just doesn't make sense to think about very, very low prices because we don't have any clear signs of weakness. We don't have big bearish CVD divergences. We have bullish ones instead. We have an 886 touch, which also give probabilities to bullishness, not bearishness. So, you know, whatever this is forming over here from an Elliott Wave point of view, the only thing I look for is the 886, which of course cannot be compared with putting two trend lines on a chart and be like triangle. I completely disagree with that statement. So, because people that have no idea about Elliott Waves putting two trend lines and say triangle, they don't know what to look for. You need to look for zigzag, complex COD, or E being a triangle, volume. The 886 is very clearly pulled from a high to a low. So we are agreeing to disagree, but at the moment it doesn't make any sense for me. So yeah. The 886 remains a rare target for a wave 2 or B. The 886 is pulled from the high to the low, which is either your A1 structure in a bearish scenario. So it doesn't matter. I can count this as an A or a 1. I don't have to know what this is here. But we hit the 886, and that is what's important. So unless you're going to count this eventually, but that depends on the move down, as a WX and then a wave Y, then your Y ends here and you have a move down, but you still hit the 886. So, yeah. Confirmation for potential long depends on the strategy you implement. But in this case, you first want to know what is happening here. So what is actually forming here, right? We don't know. 886 is taken from this high to the low. Rare target for 2, common for B or X. Of course, we can have a retracement down, but any retracement has a higher probability of being corrective. It's just probabilities. It's just probabilities. So can we go to 0? Yes. Yes. Probabilities say that price can go to 0. Yeah. Is it high probabilities? No, but it is probabilities. So it's just probabilities. So for a potential long, you first want to know what's actually forming here. Second, preferably it hits some areas of support. So we have a daily naked point of control at 60K. I can pull a volume profile here as well. Point of control, value area high, interesting levels. Or you want to flip resistance to support. 0 is absolutely possible, but it's very low probabilities. There's no certainties in trading, guys. So 10K is possible. It's just low probabilities. 0 is also possible, but it's just very low probabilities. No? So it's just making the point that it's a probabilities game. It is not a certainties game. And probabilities are never 100%. So if price does X or Y, you know, I'm not talking Elliott waves here, but if price is showing something, right, it is showing us a pattern or showing something, the probabilities are higher for up or down, but that doesn't necessarily mean it can't go the other way. But Elliott wave probabilities, as you know, based on a lot of the previous weeks and videos, are very well done. And 886 is one of the big things that impact probabilities. So from the high to the low. From the 86 to the low, we're now at 50%. So more down before an up. Potentially, yeah, I'm not. So with the 886 here and also being in South Africa, I'm just not interested in trying to figure out every little move in here and the 1, 5, 3, whatever minute. It's just 886. That's important for me. And it's taken from the high to the low. If this is indeed a wave 1 and a 2, low probabilities. Simple as 1, 2, 3. This is an A, B, C. Okay, well, and then we need to end a B and we want to see a wave C to the downside. And then we're going to take the highs at a later stage. It's just higher probabilities for a B or an X, and then the move down is a C or a Y before taking the highs at a later stage. Is there the possibility for price to move down impulsively, and this being a wave 1 and a 2 and a long 3 down for much lower prices? Yes, but it's low. It's just low probabilities. So, and we have bull CVD, not bear CVD. Yeah. Are the probabilities high for Bitcoin to reach 100K now, then reach 10K? Arguably, that answer would be answered with yes, because currently the bullish scenarios have a higher probability as we don't see strong local weakness. but 10K is not out of the question. But then you're talking about a bigger flat pattern, most likely. So it is a scenario we have to keep in mind, yes. But it's not having the highest probabilities, as we don't see strong local weakness for that to happen. Do you think that retail is yet about to come in? Or it already started going in through ETFs? I guess the ETFs do help with the fact that people buy, but I think probably when, like, the closer you got to all-time high, like you passed 30K and then you passed 40K, I think the 40 was arguably a big one, as then you really show like, oh damn, you know, we went from 15 back to 40, like people start to notice. And yeah, I think people are becoming interested, but I'm not really looking at fundamentals at all, so it's difficult to really know what's happening from that front. But especially now, almost at all-time highs, I mean, I get messages as well from people that say, hey, you know, I made this much profit, should I sell? I'm not a financial advisor, so the only thing I say is stick to your own plan. I can't say anything. So but I also, people I did not even know had bought, they bought recently, and you know, yeah, it's their so it's many more people start talking about it, and even people in my environment that I didn't know were involved with any of this start to ask questions. So interesting. So it seems like 60K would see a big push up to new all-time high. It's taking it step by step, yeah. So there is the potential, but we take it range. I should actually pretty much say range by range. Range by range. Can't go to zero. Can go to zero. 0.00001, or it just fails. Bitcoin goes out of the question. It's just very low probability. 0.00, just it doesn't matter, like 0 in front, not behind the comma. So yeah, but it's just incredibly low probabilities. But you cannot say it can't happen. That's where Bitcoin started in the end. So, but it's very low probability, so it doesn't make sense to talk about it, right? So you want to talk about the higher probability scenarios. And of course, that was an example to just show there is no certainties in trading, because there are no certainties. There's no certainties. 100K, 10K, it all doesn't matter. There's no certainties. It's all probabilities. Which indicators do we need to pay attention to start speaking of an altcoin season? I don't really follow altcoins, so that's a question for someone that trades altcoins. Because I believe it's more if Bitcoin eventually starts ranging in a bigger range, altcoin season might happen, but I don't know because I don't trade altcoins myself. I do have Elliott Wave counts on altcoins, which you will see in this video, which is on my channel. If you go to the homepage of my channel and scroll down a bit, and there I have Elliott Wave counts, which might show you when an alt season might happen. But yeah, I'm not really involved with altcoins myself, so I can't really answer that question. Can you show how you read the order flow? I don't read order flow. I only read CVD as an indicator, and I can read a bit of order flow, and I have experience with order flow. Just relatively simple stuff, but order flow is not something I use in my trading anymore. My personal trading strategy is order flow just made things more difficult than it needs to be. So do I use ATAS? Yes, but I only use ATAS for point of controls. So I don't use ATAS for order flow, only for point of controls. Yeah. Dave Digital, are you Koens to the trading floor later? No, I'm Koens to the trading floor, right? Meow. What the hell, Dave Digital? How you doing, man? Welcome. Good to have you here. What's up? What's up? Could you summarize at the end of the stream scenario once? I did at the beginning of the stream, and it hasn't changed in the Elliott Wave analysis part. Starts at 16. In a nutshell, probabilities are higher on a macro time frame for the bullish scenarios, and locally probabilities are higher that the high is not yet in. Those are the only two really that matter for now, because we have an 886 here. I'm late, but how is life in South Africa? Warm. It's the second day now, so but yeah, temperatures are I mean, it's, I don't know, 20 something, 24, mid 20s I think now. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I like sun, blue skies. Yeah, wouldn't mind going to the ocean in a bit though. I think I might. So let's surf. Yeah, I like surfing. I like surfing. Always takes a little bit of a warm up. If like in the Netherlands, I don't surf. Only in South Africa I surf. American pronounce coons as coens, rhymes with goings. Yeah, I know. I listen to anything. Coen, coon, you know, coon, coen. Yeah, well, I listen to it all, no problemo. A bit of bullish CVD again. See what happens here. Resistance, support. Those are arguably the two most important levels. We have a daily here as well, though. 62.5. These are like kind of like the levels I keep an eye on. The target for wave 3 in yellow is now the 1.618. Yeah, the 1.618 is a minimum target for a wave 3 most commonly. But there are big differences between the linear and the logarithmic chart. So the log target is around 80K, which would be minimum for wave 3. But because of the big difference with the linear chart, I do like to keep an eye on the subwaves inside the yellow wave 3, which is the green count. And the ranges will give us most of the information of where are we exactly. But yes, on the log chart, that's correct. Yep. Okay, everyone, and all remaining 150 of you. It's always like concurrent viewers and concurrent views. There's a bit of a difference between the two here. Holy moly, almost at 100. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your support. Concurrent chat rate views. I never look at this. Wow, what was happening here? Oh wait, that's when the dad of my wife came in. I'm pretty sure. I have no idea. Oh, okay, continuous line to the upside. But yeah, I think you know, we've covered the Elliott Wave, like Elliott Wave scenarios here. I think it's time for me to have some lunch as well. Enjoy the weather. Maybe go for some surfing. Now, I do post stuff on my Instagram story as I am here, which I'm not that active on other social media platforms, but I do post stuff on Instagram story now. So if you wanna have a look what I'm up to during the day when I'm not in front of the charts, make sure to check that out. Yeah, Tim is gonna be here very soon as well. Tim is a real life friend, and he'll be at the wedding, so he will fly to South Africa very soon. So see you soon indeed. It's very fitting for the time we're going to something halving, then we drop wave 4. Yeah, the wave 4 is going to be an interesting one. Hopefully a nice and volatile one though. So yeah, let's see what price is going to do. Interesting times, absolutely. 4 nights to go, last day of working. That's what we like to hear. Very soon, very soon. It's coming, right? It's coming. So yeah, everyone, thanks for hanging out. First live stream here from South Africa. Other side of the world, as usually I'm based in the Netherlands, not here. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, being here with me. And of course, whenever I have time in the upcoming weeks and days and that, I will make sure to make content for you. It's mentioned in the South Africa video. right? If you haven't seen that South Africa video, I definitely recommend it, as it makes sure that your expectations are correct and gonna be met. It's this video here. There are gonna be more live streams than videos, because live streaming for me is a bit easier when I'm here, because I can do my analysis live and I don't lose time doing my analysis first, then make the video, and then you know, chill after. Instead, I can do the analysis live, video is live, and then you know, answer some questions as well. So yeah, thanks for being here. F1 quali is at 7 p.m. on South African time, but I think we're going to be at a restaurant, so not sure if I can really watch it, but I'm going to watch the replay if I can't. So Saturday will be race day, yep. But I'll be fishing, so I can't watch. I'll be fishing unless it's in the evening, but I haven't checked the time, so yeah, I gotta see. But we might actually be at another restaurant tomorrow. Well, we'll see. Hey everyone, thanks for having thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. For the people that live in probably the American side, good morning, and to everyone else, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm gonna catch you during the next live stream, or potentially the next video. So yeah, thanks for being here, and ciao ciao.